Right now, you are sitting at the absolute peak of the food chain, probably stressing out because your Wi-Fi dropped a single bar. But 74,000 years ago, your ancestors were dealing with a slightly bigger inconvenience, almost going completely extinct. When the Mount Toba supervolcano blew its top in Sumatra, it triggered a volcanic winter so brutal it plunged the planet into an ice age and reduced the entire human population to a terrifyingly small handful of survivors. We were nearly a cosmic footnote. But we didn't just survive, we thrived. Welcome to my channel, Admit, and today we are ripping up your history textbooks to uncover the deeply bizarre, terrifying, and genius ways ancient humans survived thousands of years on a planet that desperately wanted them dead, proving that our ancestors were infinitely tougher than we will ever be.
First, let's clear up a massive misconception. For a long time, Homo sapiens, us, weren't the only humans around. Around 300,000 years ago, there weren't just different races of humans. There were at least 9 different human species roaming the planet at the exact same time. Imagine sharing the wilderness with Neanderthals, who were built like absolute brick walls, or Homo floresiensis, a species of humans in Indonesia who grew no taller than 3 feet and literally hunted giant storks. Basically, the planet was a real-life Lord of the Rings, except everyone was human and everyone was trying to eat each other. And we didn't just outcompete them through raw violence. We did something much weirder. We flirted with them. If you are of non-African descent, your DNA is up to 4% Neanderthal. So the next time you do something incredibly clumsy, don't blame yourself. Blame your great-great-great-grand caveman. We are living, walking mosaics of lost human species. So how did our specific, slightly less muscular branch outlast the rest?
When you think of Stone Age tools, you probably picture a bunch of bearded dudes clumsily smashing 2 rocks together, hoping for a spark. Think again. Recent discoveries from sites in Kenya, dating back nearly 3 million years, reveal that ancient hominids were master material scientists. They didn't just pick up random rocks off the floor. They would regularly travel over 6 miles to source specific, high-quality minerals best suited for making ultra-sharp flakes. That requires high-level forward planning, something most modern humans can't even achieve when deciding what to eat for dinner. And it gets crazier. Think modern dentistry is a recent luxury? Scientists recently found a 14,000-year-old human tooth in Italy that had been scraped out with a sharp flint tool to remove a cavity, and then filled with a primitive bitumen, which is basically natural asphalt. Yes, ancient humans were getting fillings done with sharp rocks and road tar without a single drop of anesthesia. Suddenly, a little scraping at your local clinic doesn't sound so bad, does it?
Let's talk about daily life. How did they sleep without being eaten alive by insects or plagued by disease? In 2020, researchers excavating a 200,000-year-old cave in South Africa found something that shocked them. The ancient bedding wasn't just a pile of random dirt and rotting fur. It was a masterclass in chemical engineering. Our ancestors discovered that if they burned their old bedding and laid down a thick layer of ash, the ash would literally block the breathing tracts of parasitic insects, acting as a flawless organic pest control. On top of that, they layered specific aromatic plants known to naturally repel mosquitoes. They basically invented off-bug spray 200,000 years before chemical companies existed. Meanwhile, we still get tricked by those useless blue light zappers.
If you still think ancient humans were fragile, let's travel to Roccamonfina, Italy. In 2002, archaeologists discovered a series of fossilized human footprints pressed deep into a volcanic deposit. Here is the kicker. Those prints were made directly on a fresh pyroclastic flow, which is a polite scientific term for a deadly avalanche of searing hot gas and boiling volcanic mud. The deposits were still blistering hot when a group of ancient humans decided to casually walk right across it. And according to the stride of the footprints, they weren't even running in panic. They were walking leisurely. They were literally walking on active volcanic waste like it was a brisk autumn stroll. Today, we complain if the heated seats in our cars take more than 2 minutes to warm up.
But if you want to know the real reason humans survived while other apex predators died out, it wasn't our weapons, our tools, or our apparent immunity to liquid lava. It was our capacity for radical, unconditional empathy. In a Paleolithic grave dated back 14,000 years, scientists found the remains of 2 humans buried alongside a 6-month-old puppy. Analysis of the puppy's bones showed it had suffered from a severe, advanced case of canine distemper, a disease that is nearly 100% fatal without intense care. The pup had been severely sick for months before it died, meaning it couldn't hunt, couldn't guard, and was completely useless for survival. Yet the tribe spent months keeping it clean, feeding it, and keeping it warm. In a brutal world of survival of the fittest, where keeping a useless mouth fed could literally mean starvation for the tribe, our ancestors chose compassion. We survived because we took care of things. Well, that, and because dogs are awesome. The next time you look in the mirror and feel overwhelmed by your daily routine, just remember, you aren't just a random bystander in history. You are the end product of millions of years of hardcore survival, tactical genius, and unbroken resilience. Your ancestors dodged supervolcanoes, dated Neanderthals, mastered chemical pest control, practiced dentistry with asphalt, and walked on volcanoes just for fun. They passed the torch through the dark for thousands of generations. So let's try not to mess it up. Drop a comment below. Would you have survived a week in 200,000 BC, or are you too attached to your air conditioning?